Welcome to my channel. If you could remember, in this video we started the journey of building your website on a local host, and this is the second part of the video. In the previous video we were able to install XAMPP, install our templates on our WordPress website. In this video we'll be editing our website. If you're excited about this, click on the like button and let's get started.
Like we did the other time, the first thing, you start the Apache and you start my SQL. Make sure both of them turns green. Okay, my SQL has turned green. Apache 2 is on yellow. Okay, it has turned to green, so we are good to go. So you can now go ahead and launch your browser and type localhost / your website / and press enter. Okay, so moving on, I want to start editing now. We'll just have an overview of the website, so let's go ahead and start editing our website. So to do that, I have to go to my backend on WordPress. So all I simply need to do is to add wp/admin to my website /wp-admin. So let's allow it to load our backend now. Let's log in. Okay, so we are there. To edit that now, you go to appearance, you open appearance and click on menus. So let me see what we have. As a matter of fact, let me even have a preview of the website again. Let me open it on the fresh tab. Localhost. So I want to change the pages to what I want. We'll edit it a little bit. One of the easiest way to do that is I can just go ahead and create a menu. So that is why we are here on that menu. So to do that, let's go ahead and create a new menu. So you look at it here, you see create a new menu, or you can check from the list of menus here too. But let me just create a new menu, or I can still use this as my menu. Let me just go ahead and create a new menu. Click on create a new menu. Creating a new menu, I will just give it a name. Let me still give it the name according to the project, just for uniformity's sake. It's not compulsory to do that, but for uniformity's sake, I still want to maintain that name. Okay, so now I will check it as my primary menu and the off canvas menu. Click on create menu. Okay, menu is created. I set as a primary menu and off canvas menu. So I have that already. I can now set up my pages in that menu. So in my own case here, I would click on view all here to set up the pages I want. I need just 5 like we have here, but I don't want them named as this, so I can go back to pages. I can always go back to pages or pages to edit those pages. Now I said I want home, contacts, about us, services. Now this contact, I want to change to contact us. So let me quickly do that by clicking on edit here. Your own case, yours might not open on a blank tab, so whichever will just be show you on course. Okay, I can close this. So just come here and add the us to it where I want it. Us. Then all I have to do is to click on update. So update that. Okay, updated already. Can you see that? Page updated. So if you go back to where your pages are, this contact, now by the time you load the page, it would have changed from contact to contact us. Let's load the page and see. Can you see that it has changed? Then this sample page, I want to change it to, let's say in this case, I want to change it to processes. So do the same thing to it. Click on edit. Okay, so change the word sample page to processes. Just do the same thing by clicking on updates. Okay, updated. I can close and go back to where I was. So I'm reloading already. Can you see now? I now have my where I want it. I want home, about, contact us, processes and service. So let's go back to menu now to arrange them in order that I want. If you don't forget, if you look at it right here, you see the way it is by default. It comes as home, about, services and contact. So me, I'm making this is just 4. Me, I'm making mine 5, and I'm renaming them the way I want. Just look at it, you see the difference now. So I now have about, contact us, home, processes and services. Now I want to make them go live like that, and I want them to follow the particular order. I might have to change it that something else will be in place of about. Maybe our services will come before about. So let's go and do that arrangement. So let's go back to menu. That is why we created that menu. Go back to appearance, over on appearance, and click on menus. Okay, so and don't forget, this is the menu we created. So now I want to add pages to the menu. So I can just click on view all to add them. So home, about, contact us, processes and service. That is what I want. So I can just click on add to menu. So they will all be added to the menu that I've created, called the menu name, like you can see here. So now that has been added. Can you see the order now? So that means on the page now, it's going to show us home, about, contact us, processes and service. If I see immediately, I save this. Now let me save menu now for you to see. Let's wait for it to save. Okay, saved. Can you see that? Now let's go back to our website to reload. Let's see. Note the difference. Can you see that now? Can you see the change has been effected? The pages have changed, right? Can you see that now? So let's proceed. Let's go back and proceed. Okay, now I want to rearrange these pages. I want to switch them over. So let me do that quickly now. It will be home, about, services, processes, and it will end with contact us. So let's go back. So it's just as simple as home, about, drag services to after about, drag processes to after services, and leave the last one as contact us. Can you see that? Can you see that? And I've made home my front page. Can you see? I can decide to even the name that where I want to change it on that page, I can still do the change in here. So and I can decide to make something else my home page. You understand? So but this is just the way, perfect way I want it. And if I want any of these pages to become a sub page under any of the pages, I can just, all I have to do is just to tilt it sideways so it will become a sub item under. So what that means is that if I click on save now, processes will be under save. So we only have home, about, services and contact. So it is when you now click on service that you now see the drop down for processes. But I don't want it to be like that. I want everything to arrange the way they are. So I've done the rearrangement. Now let me save. Then we'll go back to confirm. Okay, saved. Let's go back to check. Okay, can you see now they are all arranged the way I want? So moving on. So the next thing now is I want to start with the major editing properly. I want to start editing the pages one after the other. But in this video, I will only explain how to edit just the home page. Whatever you do on the home page, you can, the same process goes for every other page. So I will explain how to edit just the home page. So you can, the same thing is applicable to other pages. So let's go back to over on pages and click on all pages. Okay, So I want to explain with home. So if I still click on edit, the same edit I clicked on that was enabled me to be able to change the title of the page, I can still use that same edit to edit the page, but to make the job faster and more interesting for us, that is why we installed Elementor.
We are getting to a stage where we would have to start editing our pages, and that is where Elementor comes in. So in this case, we'll be editing all the content of our page. So whatever is applicable to your own page will be applicable to every other page. So once you are able to learn how to edit your own page, the same procedure goes for other pages. So we'll be editing all the content as applicable to you. The text, images, videos, audio, document, as the case may be. So let's continue. If you're enjoying this video so far, click on the like button, and if you are new to this channel, click on the subscribe button as well as the bell icon, so that when next I release a fresh video, you will get notified. So let's continue.
So rather than just clicking on edit here, I'll click on edit with Elementor. I can as well click on edit here and go and click on edit with Elementor when I get to edit. But since I have edit with Elementor here, so let me just click on edit with Elementor. But in case you want to work and you can't find edit with Elementor, look at this case now. Can you see this case? So because of that, I would go through the pain of clicking on edit first, so that you can go and access edit with Elementor over there, just in case you want to work and you can't find edit with Elementor directly. Okay, can you see that now? So now I have edit with Elementor here. I can now click on edit with Elementor, because all my editings I'll be doing them on Elementor. So let's go. Now, while Elementor is loading, let me explain something to you. The good thing about WordPress and Elementor is that if you want to edit any page on Elementor, you can actually start editing directly from the page instead of having to go to your dashboard and go through this process. So if you look at this page now, this is the website for it, right? But you observe that there are some icons here, all these ones here. So if you open your website directly, you won't be seeing this. But immediately you open a new tab somewhere on the browser and you log into your dashboard, if you eventually now come back to your website to refresh it, all this will be available for you. What that means is that you can actually edit your website on your website in as much as you have your dashboard logged in on one of the tabs, like we indicate here. So you can see now the website is ready for editing from the back end, right? So I can still do the same thing if I actually wanted to edit it from the website directly. So all I need to do is to click on edit with Elementor. You see I'll get the same similar result as this. Okay, so as a matter of fact, I will even be using this instead of this, so that I can just go back to my dashboard on this while I edit on the main page. Hope you are not confused. You see the similarity. Don't forget, this was we got here from the back end, right? By going to pages, going to edit with Elementor. But in this case that is loading, don't forget I clicked on edit with Elementor directly from the website. And I told you that what enabled me to have those icons is because I have the page, that's the dashboard. I have it logged in already on the same browser on a separate tab. So can you see now? Elementor is about to load. The network can be frustrating at times. That's why we are getting this, but never mind. If it doesn't load, all you have to do is to refresh. So since I have this loading already, I can go back with this so that I can just make this one stay on the dashboard already. So I can make this one go back to the dashboard. Just exit. While I use this one for the you can see I have the same interface as this now. So let me just stick with this while I leave this one to be my dash, to go back to the dashboard. So I can now start editing. It's just as simple as that. Now if I want to edit this word, all I need to do is to click on it. Can you see? Now I can edit. It's just as simple as that. Even the pictures I have here, I can change them whenever I need. Every section can be changed anywhere you want to change. All you have to do is to click on it, especially if they are text. It's as simple as just clicking on it and you edit. If there are images, it's as simple as clicking on it. It shows you where you can change the image. Can you see that? So let's take it one step at a time. So with what I want to do, this is actually not necessary. This fastest and wait, I don't really need it. So I can just go ahead and delete this So let me change this to my own words. I have it typed in Microsoft Word already, so let me just go and fetch it. So all I have to do is to copy and paste. Can you see that? It's just as simple as that. So then this button too, let me change it to something else. Just click on the button and change the words. Can you see? To something else. Let me use the word book an appointment in my own case here. Can you see that the first one, the upper one too has changed? If you can look at it, where it has changed. So this is what I want actually. And moving on, I'm done with this section. I'm still going to change this background. It's just as simple as that. You can see I've changed all the words from what it was to what I want now. Even the button, I've changed the word from get started to book an appointment. Can you see that? So moving on to the next section. Do I need this? I can decide to erase a whole section to fit into what I actually want. So let me see, do I need this section? I think I need that section. Maybe let me just type it instead of copying and paste. I can still decide to delete this one and create a new heading for myself, but just so that you know how flexible this can be, let me just go ahead and delete instead of type instead of copy and paste. Can you see that that place is fixed? Okay, I'm done with this section. So as you do your editing, all you need to click on updates to keep saving whatever you've done. So I'm just doing that now so that I can as well save what I've done so far. Can you see that? While I move on, I can as well save what I have done so far. It's updated already, it's saved. So moving on to the next one. So in this case here, I think this place too is needed. I need this place too. Let me use this place as well. But what I want to put here is just 4 in my own case here. So let me delete 2 per 2 from each column or row. So let me delete.
Alright guys, hope you're enjoying this video. You see, you can do whatever you deem fit to each of these customization. You might decide to work on your color change. You can change your colors, you can add some animation effects to your website, and as the case may be, it's all about you playing around your Elementor and playing around settings, deciding on what you want to implement into your website.
So I've deleted the last 3 sections out of 6 because I want to achieve 4. So there are ways I can do that. So but majorly I want to kind of remove this one too, so that I'll have 2 here and bring down another 2. Maybe duplicate this to make my 4. So let's proceed. Edit this by clicking on this edit column here, and right click on it to delete this particular one. So I can have just 2. Can you see that? So I can just go ahead and copy this down again to make my 4. So I can quickly do that by right clicking on this and click on duplicate. Can you see that? So I've arrived at my 4. Can you see? It's just as simple as that. It's just so simple as that. So the next thing I want to do now is to propagate the content, the textual content. I think I'm cool with the size and shape. So let me propagate the content now. Selector and paste. So we are done with all 4. Can you see that? We are done with all 4 of them. So now don't forget that this section has an heading. So I might want to add an heading to this section before these 4 subsections here. So how do I go about that? There's many ways I can go about that. First and foremost, let me add an inner section because I want it to blend with this 4 section. It's meant to be a combination of them. So can you see what I've just done? I've added an inner section, so which is more like between this upper part and this lower part. So just watch me. I can decide to delete. It's now 2 sections. I can decide to delete the second one. Right click on it and click on delete, and now I'm left with 1. Can you see that? So then I can just go ahead and change the color to white so that it will rhyme with what I want here. So let me go ahead and change the color to white by clicking on this to edit the section. Go to style and change the background type and color. So change background type, choose the color here. So I want white, or I can just use this. These are popular colors and use this. Can you see that? I can still come to advanced here to work on the margin in between, just to make the white propagate, and I could still leave it and just add my text there. I think we're on course now. I could still leave it that way. So it's just about your creativity, what you want to achieve. But let me just work on the margin a little. So I want to close it up a little bit, so I can just come to this section and click on edit in that section. So come to advanced and try to work on the closing of the space between them. I could still leave it that way, but I just want to close it up a little. So look at this now and come to margin. Let me click on link value together to unlink it. I want to unlink, so whatever I do to the top or bottom will not affect other parts. So I'm trying to, can you see that? I'm trying to adjust the margin now, bringing it closer to that upper one I just introduced. Can you see it's now by reducing it now? Can you see it's getting closer? It's getting closer. So I've been able to achieve that. So this is what I want to achieve. Can you see that now? It's so close, and that gives us the feel of becoming the same one, the same section. So there are so many ways you can go about whatever concept you have. So let me come back to this column now to add a header to it. So just by simply clicking on, so there are so many, but you can click on this to introduce all this icon, to click on header and bring it in to that section. Can you see that? So I can now put my heading for the section here. I can just go ahead and put it in between just to maintain that font. Can you see that? Then delete. How does it work? I think I can also have a question mark there. So I might want to centralize that. Let me come back to the text and put it on centralized alignment. Can you see that? So beautiful. We are making sense now. I can still work on the background if I so wish. So look at it, is choking. It is too close to this and it's too close to the background. In fact, I need more space here to distinct between here and here. Then I need at least to make it close, to give space between this and this. So to do that now, I need to come back to edit in that section. Make sure that I'm on that particular section. Edit, right click, edit column, and you come to advanced just like it is now. And when you come to advanced, you can click on advanced. Make sure this is unchecked, so that, because the reason why you link value, your link value is because when you are, if you don't do that, if it still remains like this, whatever you do here, any other, if you are working on the top, it will affect. Can you see that? It will affect the right, bottom, and left. Can you see? I just work on the top and it has affected the bottom and left. That is why you need to, it depends on what you want to do, you need to unlink first, so that wherever, if it's the top you want to work on, it will only affect the top. If it's the bottom you want to work on, it will only affect the bottom. Now look at it now, just watch. I want to create a space here, so I'm trying to adjust the bottom now. So you can see it's only affecting the bottom and no other parts. Can you see that? So I'm good with that. So now I want to create a space between this now and the upper one, as upper section. So let me adjust that quickly. Can you see now? Can you see? I want to make the space much so that at least it will be obvious that this section is different from that section. So I think I'm good now. So I'm good with this. I'm satisfied with this. Let me work on the background. Change the color to white. Okay, can you see that? So this section has been changed to white. The remaining thing now is that I want to remove this background here. Just come to click on this, right click on it and click on edit column. So when you come to style, come to background here and change it to white. Click on the color of the background, change to white. Then you come to background overlay again, expand it and change all these colors to white as well for information sake. So I might as well update now. Another thing is, if you look at this two box up down here and this two box up here, you can see that there's no more space between them. They are too close to each other. So I want to quickly address that. So I'm waiting for our update to save first, to be completed first before we proceed with that. Okay, update completed. So just over on this section, you don't forget that this section is different from the section. Don't forget that I copied this section to make it, I duplicated this to make it. So just click on this and come to your advanced again and make sure this is unlinked. So I want to work on margin at the top. Let me see that. Can you see that? Can you see that I'm increasing it now? So I think I'm good with this now. Can you see now? So I'm perfect with what I have here already for this section. So moving on to the next section. So I want to align this particular one to the right. Okay, it's affecting everything. So this is not what I want to achieve. So let me undo. So I might just decide to leave this one. Come out content. I might just decide to leave this one as this. End it here. Then duplicate it. Remove those spaces. Because I want this to be centralized while the itemizing, I want it to align left. So I might just click on this. I click on it and click on duplicate. Okay, so I will now use the duplicated version for my itemizing. So it's all about creativity and it's all about what paste here. Okay, it's not giving me the kind of bullet I want. Okay, let me still go with this. Then I can just align left. Line left. So I don't really need these pictures here, so I will just kindly delete that. So then I think this button, let me change it to contact us. Let me see, let me give it another word. It's all about what you want to remember. So me, the way I want it, I want that button to serve as the contact us button. So this is cool. So that is done already. Moving on to another section. I don't want this, so let me delete this. I have this whole section, so right click on this. Even this I don't and click on duplicate. So I have two of this now. I can now work with this, and I want to delete. I click on that. Now click on one of copy them so that I can just work with two. So I have just two. Fantastic. So the happy story, I don't want this as well. All I want is the happy story. I click on this and delete that. Okay, it's taking shape gradually to what I want. Then in my own case here, I don't want the picture, I only want the content underneath. So I might want to right click on the picture as well and delete. To bring what I will do is let me click on this there. Then do the same thing and then duplicate. I click and duplicate to bring the same thing. I want to use it for testimonials. So let me put the content now. So this is done now, and I can delete this other one. Let me remove this navigator. Let me just distracting is covering. So I can delete this. Right click and delete. Then edit column. Just come over here to this place again and introduce the same way I've introduced that. Bring it here and So I can now right click on this and click on duplicate. Can you see that? So I have a replica of this here now. So I can as well just come and right click on this to delete it.